this thing on? Can you hear me? Is anybody out there? Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank, huh? It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's where we can kick it. Everything is going down. They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie.
Hey, what it do? What it do? What it do? How you doing, everyone? This is Roy Anthony once again. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. My co-stars, Big Hank and Cynthia Joi, will be joining in. Cynthia Joi have lost like 3 major family members in the past month, and we constantly saying prayers for her. I seen the obituary for her uncle just passed last week, and she's just been going through, and which we all have gone through and experienced, and if you haven't experienced, you will eventually. You keep living. That's what's been said to me. You keep living, and you'll experience grief sometimes, especially when there's someone that you care about and they pass away. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. I'm Roy Anthony. This is part of the WO Entertainment platform, which was created by Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp. You're going to see him live November the 12th, along with myself and 4 other top comics, with 2 very exciting bands. Looking forward to that. Sunday was my birthday, October 23rd. This is October 25th, 2022. When I was a kid, I didn't think I was going to, live past the year 2000. And I'm 22 years into it. And, the creator of the WO platform, which is Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, along with the co-creator Goose, our social producer Blue Phoenix, our man Athens, and then we have our sponsors like Matthew Brooks, our neighbors BB Nation, the VRS, BB Nation, that's the backwood veterans out there in Oregon, and then we have the VRS, which is the Veteran Radio Syndicate that's based around the U.S. Then the WO Entertainment family, along with our own personal family, friends, associates, co-workers, and even people who don't like us. So sometimes we be having guests coming in, making special looks and stuff. And me and Big Hank, as you know, sometimes he does work with the Lord. He's one of the head deacons at the church, but we all come from the hoods. That's why we sometimes got ourselves gangsters from God. You feel me? I believe in Jesus, but I tell you, try Jesus. Don't try me. But me and Big Hank, when we first got together in 2018, we was on the national, one of those radio shows, and in Santa Ana, and we, then therefore we bumped over here to WO Entertainment. We always prided ourselves because we could have been where it was just all straight gangster, sexual exploitation, women. We knew we was going to have, we have millions of viewers, followers, you know what I'm saying? Juicy gossip, stuff from, like that, exploiting and stuff, and we said that we want to be informative. Enough of sometimes, you got enough arenas to get to hijinks and everything that you want, but we want to be informative and especially speak up on conversations that other people lacks to have. If you notice on our show, we've talked about from everything from politics, crooked police officers, no matter what race they are, to like I said, political, child support. We have just been having, somebody was asking me, could I do part three on the child support? And so we always just, one of the things that me, Big Hank, and then we get other brothers and sisters as, and when I say brothers and sisters, it's not just my blacks, it's like Richie is considered one of our brothers. And what we do is we look into subjects that how we can better help better each other. You know, one of the problems that I've been facing, and I've been looking at this for over a year now, is credit. Now, I'm not talking about just any type of credit. I'm talking about the corporate, public credit, TransUnion and Experian and Equifax, that type of credit where you can be able to buy a home or car. They, things are based sometimes in our American system off of credit score. And uh, I tell people, I used to laugh. I say, look, don't never take credit from the streets. When I was, out there in the streets, you want to get into some of the games, into the game or something, like trying to sell something. I was always taught never let somebody give you a front. You know, if you can't buy it, then work something out, you know, make your own money. You come and, hey, how much? Bam, there it is. And then you go on about your business. Oh, I've been looking. Here's my sister. What's up with you?
What's
I,
up, honey love, sugar foot, sweet face?
you got it. How you been doing?
Hey, I'm here, so I ain't gonna even complain because ain't gonna do no good anyway.
Man, I'm so proud of you. I was just telling, I know the numerous of deaths in your family this past month. And I seen the picture of your uncle just
Mhm.
lately. And and when someone says, oh, somebody passed, because I remember at my job one time, this dude wanted to get off work and he said he played like my uncle passed. You know what I'm saying? He just told a lie. Do you know what
Crazy.
I'm saying? Just so he can get out the job. And I've said, man, that's so low. You know what I'm saying? Just say I
You'd
got
be
an emergency. I got,
surprised.
yeah. But when someone truly goes through it, you know, and my condolences, I saw the obituary and stuff, and you can tell that he was loved because people takes the time to draw something up like that. You
Yeah,
know,
he definitely was
some,
loved. He was
oh
the
yeah,
second one within a 2 month period, so the struggle is real in my family right now.
oh yeah, yeah. But you know what? Sometimes we take these to make the other ones that are alive to come together. You
Absolutely.
know,
But
you
before they
feel me?
come together, you usually have to go through the brokenness because you got to heal. So you got
That-
the anger and you got these untold stories that come out the woodworks, and it causes turmoil in families. But through talking about it and realizing that there are other issues, you can get through it. So
yeah.
it's a process, but you got to go through the bumps to get to that smooth sailing. So hopefully we get to that smooth part soon, and then draw the family closer together like we're supposed to be.
Of course, trust me, I know what you mean. Sometimes we don't know how long trouble lasts. We just have, you got to be optimistic, knowing that it's eventually going to go away. Because there was a time in my life, oh Lord, especially between 2005 and 2000. It was even periods before that, but man, it was just isolated for me. I feel like a thunder cloud was just hovering over me.
Yeah.
And every time I got used to the rain, a thunderbolt would strike me. Like, man, where's this cloud going to move? You feel me?
Thanks.
Sometimes you feel like a buzzard's feather stuck in your back pocket or something, but like the word of God, though, because see, that's our belief mechanism. I'm like Tupac said, I don't, only God can judge me. And so I feel like like, you seem strong when somebody in your family may can't even seen this happening. They probably still in a state of denial, you
Yeah.
know, and stuff. But you say, now what's that in the background? Is that your bed head frame or
That's
is
my
that your chair?
bedpost, boo. Yes.
I'm like, what's that bed called? The King Kong? Like King Kong could be chained up. They be playing oh, you like good. I'm like, okay. That way, when the bed rocking, the top people know and the bottom people know.
Right.
Got some big old posts. It look like a whole someone's porch up.
Look, Roy, that's a
You,
whole nother conversation.
well, you had in the background. I kept trying to figure out. I'm like, what is that? A chair? I kept thinking that's a back frame of a chair. I'm like, she's living large.
I wish.
But you know what? Hey, also, and Miss Leone wants to talk to you about a job situation off. You know,
Okay.
something on the side. You know, not knowing what you do on the side. I don't put people's business in, but we want people to know that we try to look out. And I wasn't putting your business out, but I was sharing with somebody I know who can make some, some stuff happen. You feel me?
Well, luckily, I ain't shy about it anyway, because I know we all go through something. So I ain't worried
Yeah,
about you
yeah,
sharing, because you never know who gonna help you through whatever you're going through. So you can't be so
exactly.
busy to keep your mouth shut, because closed mouths don't get fed. So I ain't
You
tripping
feel
about
me? And I'm gonna tell you something. I was just saying before you came on that when men became first started on bringing the show, I've been on, but we said we were gonna come together. We could have been where it was about gangster exploitations and sexual innuendos and stuff like that, right? And build up the viewers. They don't know what nastiness or whatever. You know what I'm
it.
saying? We
Right.
said we want to be informative. You know, the road to hell is wide and unassuming, isn't? But
Hmm.
we want to be able to say, okay, how can we help? Just like we had about the child support, there was shows we've had where people have been molested in their families. We have talked upon subjects that a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of people watching us. You know, we're trying to be where it gets financially done because sometimes you have to put in some money to make some money. And I've been making some
Absolutely.
moves. And that's why I keep the same people intact, when we can be right on the same studio and stuff, because I think we got something that's real classy where men and women, no matter what race you are, we come together and have a conversation.
Hmm.
It's not a confrontation because everyone has their choice. But we wanted to be informative on our show. And today's show was about credit. Now,
Okay.
not the street credit, but business credit, dealing with getting credit cards and buying a home and stuff. Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you, you have good credit or poor credit?
I got decent credit. My
Okay,
credit right now is at 670.
okay, you better than me because mine is at well, with one of them is 638, and that's the lowest, right?
Okay.
But I found out some stuff because as I've been trying to buy a house, that's why I've been so much sometimes in the Midwest. I was going to get more for my money. I'm only been want to go no more than 300K, right? Okay, so everything else I've been finding, I'm good with the money, the payment. That's not questions. You feel me?
Okay.
It's my credit score was low.
Makes sense.
So I started really getting into it. Now, one of the things I wanted to find out, I want people to understand this because for a minute I thought it was racial
Mm.
because I kept saying is why does it that if when I just finally get credit, they say every black person I know seem to don't have no good credit. Majority, if it makes sense, don't
Uh-huh.
have no good credit. But I will see some of my, white friends that's making just as much or less than I am can get this and that and all this credit. So I started exploring, and I don't play the race card but I did start asking, like, is it because I'm black? Why is it causing me to have bad credit?
I think you asked that question because, like you said, you haven't known a lot of us to have good credit. And when you see TV shows and movies and all that, that's how they kind of portray us. If you black, you ain't got no good credit. You got to be white to have good credit in a job and all these kind of things.
Well,
So
and you right, Cynthia, because we listen to the comedians sometimes,
we
and
listen
next
to
thing you
the
know,
society. It ain't even just the comedians; it's society.
yeah. But I'm just saying yes. But guess what? I found that I was wrong though. It's not because there's something that occurs that I'm about to pin on. Where how people will say I want to break the cycle, right?
Yeah.
Well, I went to a black financial. We used to work for E.F. Hutton and talked to him personally. He's like one of my brothers, right? And um, because I've been going, I'm actually talking to Experian, Equifax. Called TransUnion. Then I had Credit Karma because I'm gonna get onto that because Credit Karma is one of the. It's not even a credit company that's reported to, but Credit Karma is used by most lenders and business financially situations like you want to get an apartment or a house, buy a car, or do this or that needs some
Mm-hmm.
credit. Most of these companies go through what they call Credit Karma. Well, Credit Karma has the right, and I broke it down. I did a Sherlock Holmes on this for the past month. I didn't want to bring this show up until I did I've been doing it for a year, but I really got to dig deep. Okay, all three of them, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, do not correspond to each other.
Right.
They don't let each other know this person's doing good with as far as we see.
Mm-hmm.
So what they call themselves doing is called modulating, which is like an equation or something. Well, Credit Karma, now this is how far I'm digging. I'm getting it. I joined Experian as a member a year ago. Now it's just one of the three. But I
Right.
concentrate on Experian because the West Coast tends to get their credit favor um, with Experian, right? You with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of the loan officers run my credit. Now, Experian says, like you just said, you got 670. In which one? Experian, TransUnion, or is that your full? Because they all three has a different modulator.
Right.
Now, remember, I just told you none three of them talk to each other.
Right.
But Credit Karma is like a mediator.
Right.
But Credit Karma shows you your experience score to a creditor, right?
Yeah, it shows you all three of your scores.
Yes, your Credit Karma do.
Right.
But I'm about to hit you with something. So I remember I told you I was an Experian member.
Yeah.
Experian has my score at 638.
Okay.
Credit Karma had my experience score at 595.
Okay.
Take 610 to get a house for the federal FJ. So I called Credit Karma
But
because I
why you
told
call
Experian.
Credit Karma instead of the actual credit
Remember, I'm a
place?
member of Experian, so I did call Experian, and Experian said, Mr. Anthony, this is your score, 638.
Okay.
I tell them that Credit Karma is showing my score at a 595.
Right.
Now I done dug into something, right? So I called
Mm-hmm.
Credit Karma. I said, excuse me, to my understanding, every lender and business associates that when someone is trying to purchase something goes by um, their credit from you. Credit Karma is one of the most known.
Mm-hmm.
They said, yes, we are. They was talking. I said, then why is my experience score show lower than what Experian is saying itself? Now it was, you can see they trying to dig up something, putting the pan to, hey, he's asking me a question that's real serious. I said, excuse. She said, well, the modulator, I said, I understand about your modulator. It was informed to me by Experian that your modulator still wouldn't deflect my score 40 points different on your Credit Karma because I got the copies. You're giving me my experience score at 595. But my score with experience says this is 638. They even ran it themselves. Next, you know, I'm told, oh, well, we don't supply the experience. We get our scores through TransUnion and Equifax. I said, well, why are you putting out an experience score then? She said, well, it's them two. I said, okay, got their numbers. Called TransUnion. TransUnion saying, oh, I said, well, why are you giving me a experience? I'm getting to a point, Cynthia. I said, why is you showing me this score?
Okay.
They said, we're not doing that. Now they pushed it to Equifax. Equifax say, well, we don't even put our score. Hold up, Big Hank's in the house. What's up with you, Big Hank?
What's going on, y'all? What's happening?
Oh, good, Big Hank.
Right, man.
What's up, Joy?
How you doing, honey?
I'm good, baby. You doing good?
I'm
Yes,
hanging.
man.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Hey, I just want to say something for y'all. Keep going.
Yeah.
Them exercises you doing, keep doing that. Joy, keep doing that. Come on, I've been on you. I've been watching you. I've been watching you, man. Get to 100. Get to 100, man. Get to 100.
Okay. Good looking.
I got you, man. Yes, man.
Hey, somebody kept coming on and talking about my private photo here.
What's up, Reminder?
I even got some special guests that's gonna pop in for a few minutes. And so some private, you know, Sunday was my birthday.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday again, man. I
appreciate that, bro.
Happy birthday.
I partied last night through the radio show, man. I can't wait till we get but man, we've been talking about credit. And I'm glad Big Hank's in. I was just telling for real.
Yeah.
Credit Karma. No, okay. All three of the credit bureaus do not talk to each other.
No.
But Credit Karma puts out the score that most lenders in them use.
Yeah.
So I asked them, what I was going through is that Credit Karma put out my score that Experian had me at a 595, even though it's told that I'm trying to buy a house.
Right.
Experian said, no, it's 638. I said, well, why is Credit Karma? And they said, we want to know why. So I called back to Credit Karma. They pushed me over to TransUnion, gave them that number. TransUnion said must have been Equifax, gave them that number. So I'm starting to think, okay, hey, is there something discriminatory here with Credit Karma? Okay, so I don't like to play the race card, but I started making those accusations. Are you really putting, because this is what's happened with me buying a house. They keep saying you got everything in order. All my yearly form taxes, I make enough money, all that, but we need your credit cards up. So I said, wait a minute. I can buy a brand new car and drive this moment to Ensenada, Mexico, and cover it up with mud, and you can't find it if you have a hidden GPS thing on it and stuff. A house, I can't uproot it. If I had the money uprooted, I definitely wouldn't be trying to get a loan. Then I just buy the house out. So, no, everybody was passing the buck. So then I said, well, why is it black folks supposed to have low credit? A black dude, I thought it was a racial situation. Every time we look up in history, is that blacks always have bad credit. But I found out it's something else. It's with us. What happens is, when we are teenagers, our parents ain't putting us with a starter credit card.
Mm-hmm. That's because our parents don't know how to use credit. Our parents wasn't taught.
Because they didn't get taught.
Yeah, so exactly. This is what y'all just said, Cynthia.
Breaking them cycles. Yeah, breaking them chains.
Remember, I just said we're killing cycles. Look, let me tell you something. And I'm gonna say this. Shame on anybody who do know the credit and you didn't bring your family members together to discuss it. Because this is the person who wants to look, I'm better than them, so I ain't going to teach you what I know to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody's so busy being selfish that they forget to be selfless and teach the village. You got to teach the village. You can't just hold the knowledge to yourself and then die with it. It don't pass on that way.
Well, that's why we had this show. because guess what? We got a lot of people who's saying that they learned from our show. I've been telling Big Hank,
Okay.
we had agreed we could have had gangster situations and sexual expectations and everything, build up a whole bunch of viewers.
Yeah.
But we said we're going to keep it straight and narrow.
Yes, sir.
We want to be informative. Am I correct?
Right. Insightful. Yes, sir.
It started way back when we was in Santa Ana. We had one of the top black patent lawyers in the United States, Brian Tooks.
Yes, sir. Brian Tooks.
It started from there.
Yes, sir.
And people who want to, if you think you got an idea or venture you need, it was to call him, gave him the number. Big Hank did it.
Yes, sir.
Insurance.
Yes, sir. I used to have a prison number. Now I got a patent number. Yeah,
that's right.
How about that one? Yeah, that about that
from the pit to the palace. No one can tell me what God can't do.
Come on, man.
One of the things is that when I started for the past year, this past month, I really got deep into it because I'm in the verge of trying to buy a house for my family.
Yeah.
So that way I can take care of stuff. You know, I feel shame. I be out there and kicking in my apartment and all that, and we don't have no foundation because we do lose a lot of money with not owning a house. Yeah. Big Hank gonna get them tax incentives and stuff. Watch when it kicks in and them checks because the land value go up. He in this position.
Yes, sir.
So the thing about credit, what I found out is that young white kids whose parents were starting with a credit card, let's say $300 to $400, teaches them don't spend no more than less than 30%. That's what the credit bureaus like to see, less than 30%. So a $300 card means that they can only spend $60, $80. Now, if they mess up, say for instance, they get in a situation, you got to use the card, you know, you had a flat tire and you had no cash, so they use the card. Their parents backed up their card. So that way, when they got older, they got a credit score that's going up because not using credit is as bad credit.
It's as bad as not having it. Now, yes, sir. Now you're right. Yeah.
Now, one of the myths is that people got to understand this is that credit is not based on you paying your bills on time. It plays a very minimum part. Guess what the biggest thing about the credit department of getting credit is responsibility of it. We just spoke upon it, using less than 30% of the card that you have. If they offer you a $2,000 card, do not use it up. Multiply it and find out how much is 20% out of the 2,000, which is basically $400. 10% of 2,000 is 200. So if you got you feel me? Don't go over that. And when you have your minimum payment set up for like $40 or $50, you give them $75. And I found it, and I've been finding this out. But what happened is with us blacks, like a lot of people who got irresponsible with their electricity bills or something, put the child's name on a bill that utilities are ported to the department.
Yeah, my name was towed up for that very reason because my mother was a drug addict. So we were with lights for like a year. We didn't have lights. And then she put them in my name because we got the same name. Only thing that was different is I got Joy as my middle name. So when I
security number.
Yeah, and once I got out here on my own, my credit score was already kind of shot because my mama didn't use my name and didn't pay the bill.
Exactly. Now see, some people have used their kids' name for utility stuff for survival mode.
Exactly.
Or bought the J.C. Penney's or Macy's credit card in the kid's name, running it all up and stuff like crazy. That meant they ain't seeing them as a legacy. Now, why would it wait for now? All right, my son is 18, my daughter's 14. And I'm saying I've already been talking to my son now about it. Like I got approved for him a credit card. I told him, look, you're only going to use 15, 20% of this. Now, I said, and so I was talking with my mother. And she has a credit card, but she only knew that I'm going to just make my payments Not look, if you got a credit card and you don't use it, your points come down. They want to see. Now, it's not about you paying your bills on time, it's that they can find you responsible. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all what I did. I didn't go to none of these credit people who can tell you the same simple stuff, but they want to charge you and all this stuff, right? Everybody knows that you can contact a creditor on your credit report. And I would tell anybody, please get with Experience something. They got free membership just to regulate your score. Now, what I did, now Big Hank got good credit because he bought a house and got a new car. And so he showed. Now, a person like me who always dealt with cash, I didn't have no credit card. So I applied and they, oh yeah, let me get the old Capital One credit. I'm denied. Why I'm denied? Because you don't have no credit. So what I had to do was a year or two ago,
you had to buy you some credit. You had to buy you a credit card. Okay, you had to buy you some credit. Yeah.
Sterling Bank, Premier Bank. I had to send them $300 for $300.
That's crazy, man.
Wait a minute. I sent them $300. It's still on buy you. And I had $225. I'm supposed to have $300, but $225. They were like, you so much at a risk.
we just gonna keep $75 in the hole for you just in case.
Well, that's you beat your membership one-time membership fee. I thought the $300 was good enough.
They get, nigga, they worked you like a rib, nigga. They was just.
But I had to start somewhere. Everybody else was like, no, unfortunately, no, this and that, no, because
you had to start somewhere. I understand.
We send you a letter of our decision of why we didn't give you credit, right? So what I did was, I'll tell you for real, this is what was happening with me last year. Without knowing, I'm trying to when you looking for something, the Lord said, "You look, you shall find." I kept using my card up to $300. When I got paid, I just paid it off. I didn't think nothing about it, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, I should look good with the credit department. I didn't know when they kept. So when I see usage rate 110%, I'm like, where did 10% come from? I'm paying it fully in whole, right? Not knowing that I'm not being responsible with my credit. I'm using 100% and over.
You overusing your shit.
Yeah, I thought that you paid it off on time because I'm under the myth, like what my mom say, she pays her bills on time. I'm gonna pay my bill on time, and I'm gonna pay it all the way up. It's on $300, right? Well, they said, hey, so I look at these notes and I'm reading on the credit thing. It says to have really good credit, real creditors want to see you use less than 30%.
Right.
Ideal would be 10%, but no more than 30%. I'm like, 30%. So I talked to one of the loan officers for the house. He said, yeah, man, I was going to talk to you about that. If you want to use less. Now, no one told me that I should only use $60 or $70 out of that $300 card.
Nobody told you that. They're not. They're not. The card people are not supposed to tell you that.
Well, not them, but I'm talking about my peers.
Yeah, I got
will help me overcome this credit.
Yes, yeah.
You feel me? Why is it that then when I get into a certain situation, then I hear some blacks coming to me. Oh yeah, man, you don't want to use 30%. Oh, now you tell me 7 months in a row I've been paying my card off twice a month. So I said, oh, so okay, ignorance is bliss. I'd be a fool if I kept doing it. So I said, okay. I went down, I paid it all the way off, and only used $60. I mean, cash and everything else. I purposely, okay, look here. Next thing I know, I get a thing saying, oh, you're qualified for another card.
Yeah. Then
it's telling me if you have 5 credit cards and stay up on the percentage. Now, mind you, my score was like a 550, 560. Man, I started getting your cards and paid, and keep it under. I even got a paperwork. I got 5 credit cards now.
Yeah.
And they cheat. They set me up for the big blammy, but I got $1,600, 5 cars. You do the math. One gave me 400. You feel me? But I keep it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once in a while, I may go, a restaurant and spend. I'll go to the grocery store and I ask Laker, I split it in 2. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go over 30.
About to go working over there, man. Got working on your credit. It's called working on your credit.
All the way down to 30%. Score jumped all the way up. Okay, I do pay my regular utility bills. I got a Spectrum bill, and Spectrum, the credit bureaus use your bills now as a boost. You know why? And I've been saying this. Why is it when you rent an apartment, you fill out an application, right? Okay, to rent any apartment or house,
right?
Yeah. You fill out an application because you're getting an apartment based on you and which is your credit. The apartment complexes is the only entity in the U.S. that does not do a monthly reporting to the credit bureau.
Right.
They only go to the credit bureau when you're being evicted.
When you gotta go.
7 years to prevent you from buying something else.
Yeah.
That's why they put it on 7 years. The thing is, this is where it needs to change. Your credit card, you buying a car, any type of other credit, they reports to the credit bureau. You stay at an apartment. I stayed at an apartment for 4.5 years. The owners changed. They never reported monthly. Now, so I asked the inquiry, why doesn't the apartment complex report? Because when they evicted you, it's not put in there how long you've been there. They're making you look like you're an irresponsible person and you shouldn't get nothing else for 7 other years.
Right.
Right?
Even though you've been there paying for the last 5 years, 6 years straight.
That part.
Right.
Guess why they don't report that monthly? They said it was too much. It costs too much.
It costs too much to report that you're doing something good?
Exactly. But let you be evicted. They have lawyers in the
that don't cost nothing for them to throw your ass under a bus.
This is one of the things with the credit part. Well, Experian, I will tell anybody, check with Experian now. They got where you can put your rent on there, and each month, if you get it out your bank account, as long as it's coming from your bank account, you paying your house payment, your rent. Experian is recognizing that now.
Okay.
I had they gave me a boost of 12 points with Netflix. I had to have Netflix for 6 months. You had to have Spectrum for 3 months. Now it shows if you're paying rent out of your same account, that's reflecting because the apartment complexes aren't reporting to the credit bureau. Now I'm gonna see if these people still here. Are y'all? We got some people in the background. I'm gonna see if they in the house. Are y'all in the house, RJ? Okay. When they ready to come in the house, they see them in the back. Big Hank.
Yes.
You married.
Yes.
But before you was married, what was your credit score like?
Like a 580 or something like that. 570, 580.
Did you have credit?
Yeah.
And we had our guest coming in the background. I see him in the background. He needs to come back in. Now, when you got married, did your score go higher?
Yes. Yeah, since I've been married, my score has risen. Yes.
No. Now, and only we have to add because Big Hank bought a house. It's been a year now, right?
Yeah, been over a year.
Over a year, he bought a house. He also has a new car. They tried to steal the last one. He had to full coverage insurance and stuff.
Yes,
okay, now that's called a foundation and it builds stability. Hey man, I got a guest coming in for a quick minute. Y'all want to bring this young man in right quick. You know what this is, right?
That's your son, man.
What's up,
How you doing, Joseph?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good.
What's happening with you, man? How you been, man? You good?
Oh yeah, I'm coolin'. I just went to a little interview today, so I'm good.
I see you, man. I see you over there looking fly. Yeah, over there looking fly. That's what's up, man.
Come on, you know me. That's how I do.
Young King on the scene. Okay, Young King.
You see what I had to go through? Y'all met Ashley.
Now, look, y'all don't know me. Y'all know this energy. I take over. I don't want to do that today. So I'm gonna cool back.
Yes, sir.
Hey, where you at, man?
I'm in Kansas. I'm upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He'll tell you what I've been going through in trying to buy a house.
You at your pop's pad.
Yeah, my pop's pad.
That's right. That's what's up, man. Upstairs.
Cool,
That's right.
He taking care of me, so it's better than take care of myself.
Come on, man. Come on now. That's what pops was for.
Because that's something else. I said I was gonna do something about that. A lot of times we put our kids, 18 years time to go.
No.
That's so stupid. Yeah. That's the most stupid. Yeah. I don't know who came up with that.
Well, I said, look, man, they could stay at 35. That's why I'm trying to buy a house. It's called we're saying it's the family home. It's not my house. It's not
you're trying to leave a legacy, man. You're trying to leave them a legacy.
And man, you should see how they acted. Like today, they finally took my first payment for my life insurance policy. My daughter was like, when I first told her about the policy, she went, ooh wee.
Little Joker have all kind of little shit watching. He gonna booby trap your ass. Every time you jump over one, you like, damn, I missed that nigga again.
Yeah.
You missed one step, you got your other step. You got your other foot caught in. Yeah. Then you got that foot out, you got the other foot caught in. Like, damn.
Nigga got oil spots on the upstairs, on the stairs and shit. That nigga finna get your ass.
Baby oil on the water. You got the shower, got the baby oil on the floor.
Okay.
Little Joseph, I need all 500,000, man. I need all that.
They supposed to split it. I can see them. I got to watch them.
I'm doing my sibling with credit.
I wanted to leave a legacy because
it's all good.
My parents, my father didn't leave me nothing, and so my mother, I was telling Richie, pray for Richie King, man. His mother is dying, and we had to talk Friday. He didn't have no relationship with her, and he said some things that it caught me off guard because of emotions. But he came on the show, hit me on the show last night that they, settled because I had a talk with him. Not saying I schooled him or whatever, but I always think about that thief on the cross. He been foul all his life probably, but he was like, man, God, if you can just remember me. He said, hey, from this moment you'll be in paradise. When he said that, I know if I was on, I was just going. But I was teaching my son about credit. I've been telling him about the credit card I got. And how much should I tell you to use of the card?
Only 30%.
30% now.
Less than.
I'm gonna take it away because I'm trying to set them up to where when they 27 or 28, they got a house.
Yeah, or they got the credit to get one.
Yeah. Right. Now the agreement is this first house we buy is not to be sold. That's the foundation legacy.
That's home base.
Yeah, my daughter was like, she's 14, she's so shrewd. She'd be like, well, Daddy, if nobody else wants to work, live in there, can we rent it? I said, well, talk with your brother and everything. She said, okay, we'll be able to rent it. She made up her mind. When I told her about my life insurance, big gang, check this out. She said, I said, well, how old do you think you're going to be if you do pass? So I said, I don't know. I said, just don't have me where I don't want to be so old that only thing I can do is blink my eyes and stuff. Right. She said, yeah. She said, because I be telling my family members that if I get like 40s and 50s and I'm supported by a machine, I'd rather just pull the plug and that way I don't be suffering. She said, what do you think, Dad? Like I'm supposed to say, like, yeah, do that for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She was like, "Hi, I'll tell you what I want to do." But leaving a legacy is first teaching kids credit, because I don't remember them doing that for us when I was a kid. Once again, the church, why we got to have Bible meeting every Wednesday? Come on, let's have business meeting on Tuesday.
No, real talk. I can't put that on them though. That's home. That's home and school, because you're supposed to send your kids to school with knowledge. Don't expect the school to teach them everything. So credit and stuff like that. This show and stuff like what you're doing right now is kind of the foundation to get it started for people to know. We need to start talking about this inside our homes and having family meetings and making sure we all know about credit and how to pass on that legacy and leave it for our kids.
Cynthia must got a mic on our house. What, am I lying, RJ? What we talk about?
Credit every day. Not just credit.
You gotta have a family meeting.
Stability.
Like mine. I didn't want my kids to figure out they had to. There's nothing wrong with recycling. He knows recycling, but I don't want him to depend his life on recycling to pay electricity bill.
Right.
No. Or if you save enough cans for the next 5 years, you will be able to rent a condo.
No, you won't. No.
Right. No. But you know what I'm saying? He's a businessman. Yeah. My son, he went out there, he got tell him what you was doing just in 1 month here. He came here just a month and a half ago.
It was actually 2 months and a half, but my first week here, I went right across the street to the gas station and got a job right there. I ordered my detailing equipment. So right now I'm in a process of I have a business partner. He has his own little business, his own building and everything with the detailing. So what I did was I patented my name. I went to go get my LLC, 2 LLCs and a corporation. Then I bought my detailing company shit. I mean not it's kit. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that word. It was a kit.
What did you say?
I didn't say nothing, but anyway, so I bought the detailing kit.
He said, "Man, I want to got all my detailing shit, man."
What did you say?
Said I want to got all my detailing shit, man. You know, and then
I'm sorry, Dad.
Go ahead, finish, man. Go ahead. So what else you do, bro? Because I ain't got no LLC or none of that. I need to be listening to you.
Let's go.
So what I learned about the LLCs is actually a corporation is bigger than the LLC. The LLC will protect you, but it won't protect you 100%. It'll only protect you 80%, just like the credit. Okay. But it's way different than credit. So say you have your own business, how I've got my own business. I bought the name up and everything. I made everything by myself from scratch. So with the business, you get an LLC so you can be protected. So it won't be, if anybody wants to sue you, it won't sue you, it'll sue the company. So just how Party City, something happened with them, they got sued. So they changed their name to like City Party, but it's the same company, but it's just a different name. So if they got sued, one thing they got to do is change the name and you back in business. That's how LLCs work.
See? Now, you know, every time I hear him talking, boy, I be thinking about Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
But
I just want to say, great job, young man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's huge.
And keep up the good work.
Absolutely. I'm a proud auntie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, I'm gonna go back into my show, RJ. Anything else you need to say? Shout out.
Nah. Shout out to Ashley. That's my little business partner right there. Me and her gonna take over the world.
Ashley's shrewd.
Let's get it, Ashley. Okay.
And that's your little sister, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my little sister.
Hey man, I want to applaud you, man, for keeping it all in the family. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
And because I got family members and stuff. We ain't doing no business together. Shit. So I just want to applaud you, man, for keeping it in the family, and it really shows. It's really a reflection on what your dad did installed in y'all, man. So I want to shout out to you too, Roy. You're doing a great job. Great job.
I got a few more shout outs, just a few more, and I'm off.
Go ahead.
Shout out to my dad, definitely. That's number one, because you know he doing what he's supposed to do. Shout out to Uncle Hank. You don't understand how much you did for me too, for real.
Come on, that poor.
Hey, Uncle Shields, Cynthia, Ramonda, my grandma, my mom, my siblings. That's all the shout outs. Definitely my big brother. So I just shout out to God too, because he kept me here, brought me through a
Man,
whole lot.
that's it. That's the show over with. That's it right there, man. When he said, that's it.
Boy,
Man, Roy, you did it, man. You did it. That nigga said, shout out to God. Come on,
hey,
man.
man. And
Come on, man.
I
That's
feel
it.
like I couldn't complete it, y'all. Here, tell you that this first house that I'm buying, which I felt ashamed that I wish that I had known what I'm doing now, to where they would have been and have a house. But my kids is rollers with me. They
Yes,
seen
sir.
when we, me and Artie was staying in hotels and stuff.
Yeah.
And
From zeros to heroes, man.
yeah,
From nothing to
exactly.
something. From nothing to something. From zeros to heroes. Yes,
we'll stay in my car. We'll sleep in the car till around 12 o'clock till the deposit went in. So we can go get the money. He'd be knocked out and I go get us a hotel room. But now, look, see, let me tell you. We said we would never sell the house. Am I lying?
No, I promise I won't never sell the house.
Yeah, it's our house. And I told him I'm gonna be here about 5 more years before I move to Belize. And I'm gonna visit the kids a couple of times.
I'm tired of him in Belize.
Boy, they think I'm playing.
He going to Belize, even if he got to come back, he gonna go.
I'm telling you,
go to Belize.
I'm telling y'all. So, hey man, hey son, I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right, love you.
Peace out, little Joe.
All right,
Yeah.
All right,
good job, honey.
Thank you.
All right, that's my son, Artie J, man, and I don't.
Kudos, Roy. Kudos.
Yeah, great job, man. Great job, man.
Y'all know I never had a dad.
That's why it's even more special.
Only dad I had was the cats in the streets and my grandfather. My mother was more ruthless. I was more fearful of her. She was the mom and the dad. But as raising them, I always said about imagination of I would want it to be, sometimes I don't know how to, but anyway, I thank God for them. But the thing is, I've been trying to break that generational curse of us teaching our kids. Like you said, Cynthia, I'm not lying. Well, we can all get it, take your family members and say, hey, we're going to meet here Saturday. Don't worry about no food or nothing, because the only time family members come together sometimes is when somebody done passed or you know what I'm saying, it's a holiday.
Hey, you were saying that you didn't have a dad. But I did have a dad, even though him and my mom went through like little thing, you know what I mean? He was gone for a while, but that was my daddy, man, you know what I mean? Yeah. And my daddy turned 81 today, okay? And I bought my dad a pair of Adams.
Ooh.
Oh, them hot.
Not the Stacey Adams.
Them go hard.
Yeah.
81 years old.
And I thank God for dads, man. And I'm an advocate for people who are dads or people who has their dad who's still alive. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have that experience, but I'm grateful. And if I can teach one, it says, if reach one, teach one, it starts in my own house. I can't stand when I see people preaching to everybody else in their own householders. And
you better say what you said.
You out here trying to change. Yeah, they change kids. They ain't doing nothing. You want to change the world, but you don't want to teach your own household.
Yeah.
People, there's a lot of blacks that works in the credit department that's related to family. What you do, go to the barbecues and make them say what you got and what they don't have.
Yeah. If
we was to reach in there, it's a shame that we still are at the bottom of the poverty line here in America, and we got more history than any other race beside white folks and stuff here.
Because we won't look out for them.
Because let me tell you something, Latinos do it. Now, even though they get a little help from their country, because I'm telling you, if Big Hank pays $1,500 or something, I don't know, but I'm just saying, if he pays that a month, if his neighbor who's Latino and they got their bank is through Mexico, they only paying $300 in USD cash.
But they got 15 people up in there. They got 4 families, and each one stacking. They all in there stacking together.
because they're gonna try to buy the next new houses, but the
and that's the other thing that separates us. Like you talked about how you keep people ready to put their kids out at 18, but Latino communities don't do that. They stay in there and everybody be in that one house and they share the bills, and it makes them able to save more and create something better.
And next you know, they done bought the next 3 houses on the street because everybody in the house. This one Latino family, I used to say, man, how y'all all in there? It was like 12, 13 people now.
Yes, sir.
And one of the policies is that if you didn't have a regular job, and, you know, we laughed at the people selling corn and popsicles, but they tell them everybody bring at least $20 a day.
They got to hustle. You got to do something.
Now, 10 people bringing $20 in a day, to my understanding, that's $200.
And that's just one day.
That's one day. Now you had that by
$200 times 30.
I tell people, don't laugh at them people selling flowers on the corners and stuff, because there's a hustle to that. Because if you after a while, you don't keep seeing them doing that. For real.
That's what hard work look like. You got to start somewhere. And see, in our community, everybody just want to hand it to them, and they want to start at the top, not realizing you got to plateau. You know what I'm saying?
You just spoke up on. Don't you stand when you are making money, and here's somebody who isn't making money, but they're trying to tell you how you should do things.
And you're like, nigga.
Guess who I'm gonna listen to when it comes to me buying a house? I'm trying to listen to Big Hank.
Or somebody that got a house. Yeah, somebody that got a house.
Well, what's the first thing I started doing? And God, I'm telling you, God has been blessing me, was when I started paying my tithes. Big Hank never, ever talked to me, Cynthia, like I'm talking to the world. Big Hank didn't come to me and press the tithe. But I'm making this money, but I'm hungry one day. I'm hungry. It's a damn shame when you got money, you had money, and now your money gone. You forgot to get some groceries. God expose you when you ain't paying your tithes. You will be exposed for real.
Expose the hell out of you.
Try to keep a 20. I can't keep a 20 10 minutes. Break that, but I can keep a $1 bill forever. Can't give that, by the way. But let me tell y'all something now. You seeing the testimony, Big Hank? I think you was in the house since I started paying tithes. Let me tell you something. I'm so mad at myself not doing this long time.
It just multiplied, man. I don't know how it do it.
And I'm in trouble.
I don't know how it do it. It just multiplied, man. I don't know how it do it.
I can't even explain. Let me tell you something. Before I buy anything, I pay my tithes the first thing I pay.
That's all you got. That's all you got to do.
I got a text. I got the text message thing. I put in the amount. I look at how much they gave me, and I go straight before I buy anything else.
That's all you got to do.
That's why if you looked on the books, it'd be having 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when I pay my tithes. Because the direct deposit goes in at 1 o'clock in the morning. My tithes is in the house. Because I noticed that when I was in the worlds of trouble, only one who pulled me through was God. And then I'm like, if he gonna pull me through in the world of trouble, I might as well invest in him. And I invested in something right. I didn't just put my money because everybody, this church looked like it's really flourishing. I put it in something that was helping me personally.
Yes.
But when I went over there, Big Hank didn't do no testimony. It was the pastor that imitated Big Hank on how he does. And I'm simply, he still don't know. I'm going to bring it out really what I thought. Big Hank snowed home, so I'm not going to go. But it was something I thought when the pastor showed. And first thing I said is, the church pay you, Big Hank, and you still pay the tithes back to him? Then we walked 78 steps from the church ground to his house. And he opened up his freezer, and it was like the golden era for me. I'm hungry. And all I see was like meat. And he didn't give me no cheap. Some people dig up under the freezer and give you something. He's like, here, take this, man. And take some of this. And I'm talking about croquettes and all that stuff, right? I was eating them with some chili cheese flavored corn chips I got from the gas station. The croquettes was on point. But what I'm saying is,
There's something wrong with him, man.
It was stuck in my head. Roy, I could have you being more than anything, because if you're responsible a little, make you rule over a lot. And this is what was holding us up. Even the show, it was holding me up because the Lord is going to bless me with funds, but I'm finding unnecessary reasons just to keep it for myself or for my in-house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But as soon as I let go,
look at God.
I'm a witness. You seeing? I'm shining.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling y'all, read, it's in 1 Kings and 2 Kings where God was disappointed in the people. This is why I wear jewelry. God was disappointed. He said, look, I put a chain on your neck. I put an earring in your ear. I put a bracelet on your wrist. I put a crown on your head. And yet you turn this other people. I'm like, I'm not turning nobody, God. So he put a crown on my head. See my Raiders hat. And he put a chain around my neck. He put a diamond in my ear. He gave me that watch.
Yeah.
You know what?
Got an insurance policy.
Come on, man.
My goodness.
Houses. Now you buying houses. Come on, man.
Hey, man, Big Hank, you ain't gonna believe this. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. When you're doing it righteously, God blesses.
Yes, sir.
Now, everybody knows I'm a designer by trade, right? I've never intertwined my designing, my stand-up comedy, and the cannabis industry together.
Mm-hmm.
The owner I work for is the #1 cannabis
distributor.
No, he builds all the cannabis distribution and growth around the nation and in other countries. I'm gonna send y'all the thing. I had to talk to him because if you're in mind, right? One of the engineers, because I try to play it as a square at work. So one of the engineers, I'm designing this cultivation farm. And he said, what you think they're gonna do? The place is called something cafe. I ain't gonna say the name, but so he said, what you think they're gonna be doing? I said, well, they're gonna I said, it's pretty odd to have so much security just to have some coffee and cookies and stuff. So he said, no, he started laughing. He said, it's a mirror. He said, well, a cannabis, you probably know us as cannabis. And I'm looking at him like, am I that square to you? You know what I'm saying? But $25 billion last year in sales with limited states. You in Colorado, they got the Willie Nelson strain that only sells in 2 dispensaries out there in Colorado. Am I lying? Look here, that was like $65 a gram. For real, the Willie Nelson strain. So guess what? We started. Man, guess what? I've been designing these. This is what I'm doing. I got a design project now, dispensary farm. So I talked to the owner and stuff, right? I never thought that they all 3 would go together. Me and Richie had a prayer over our 3 strands down there in Cameron. Me and him I said the prayer like, Lord, thank you for, he was holding up. Then he turned towards a different direction. I thought he started speaking in tongues for a minute because he was like, Lord God, do it, and I was like, ooh. And then he was speaking in Native American, but I thought he was speaking in tongues for a second. For real, straight harvest, bro. Because we're getting it licensed through the state of Missouri.
Yeah.
Just like we got Connie Johnson. Big Hank, did we have Senator Connie Johnson in the house?
Yeah, you did.
Senator Connie Johnson is the godmother of the legalization of cannabis in the state of Oklahoma. She's running for governor there. She's the one who brought economic process to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Now, we're so busy, and Cynthia, you said something earlier. Cynthia, you said, I said something about the church not teaching, and you said that's an in-house thing. I agree with that, but sometimes I've seen families to try to do this type of situations, or if you want to have a little meeting, whatever, it's always the call me first. Well, they didn't call me, like you can't call them. You ever been through that, Big Hank? Yeah, just This guy, they waiting for you to call them. They can't call you.
Yeah.
Some family members want you to come to their house. Come, why they got to keep going over their house? Let's go over this house. Little, go ahead, Cynthia.
Go ahead, finish. I'm waiting.
I was just saying this. Little things like this prohibit us from coming together to working. I started where I want to teach my kids credit. I was going to have I've been having it with my mother and son now. I've been telling them every step of the way with what I've been doing with even me trying to buy the house. They've been telling me they got all my forms. So right now, just pray for me because this one guy told me, here it is. This is what a lender told me. After I done did all this work to get my score up, he said, man, we work with people with a 540 score is just 30% down or a 580 score. I said, well, why these people got me jumping through hoops for 600? He said, every loan agency have their discrepancies.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. See, we don't help each other because sometimes we'll say it's all in my business.
Mm-hmm.
Like the life insurance I have, and I got laid off my job, and how you got that money will cover you and stuff. And this is what I haven't been talking to nobody mainly about the insurance thing. I got in it and I've been learning it, right? But I would always refer to Leone. Got you if you want to do $50, $100, I would tell you put some money up. And life insurance is not just death insurance. I used to think life insurance meant you die. Life insurance is that it helps you in your life, but you got to put something into it.
Right.
My grandmother, who didn't have bank credit, she's the one who started telling me about credit, about buying a new car. She would buy a new car every 2 years. If Big Hank, if you had any way to tell somebody how to better up their credit, what would you tell them?
Be more responsible. Work on yourself. Be more responsible, and do the things that Roy was just explaining. Because that's how I learned, was that I had to buy me a credit card, and that's how I restarted it again. And I still got it. Every now and then I go and spend something on it. I just pay it off when I get $30, $40. I don't spend no more than $30, $40.
Yeah.
I might go send my daughter something or something like that. So that's the kind of stuff I do with it. But I just keep it moving. You know what I mean? What you can't do is you can't go overboard. And that's what I used to do. That's the kind of stuff we used to do, just go overboard. Oh, it's Christmas. I'm finna go out there and fly, spend $1,000. No, man, you got to be responsible. You know what I mean? You got to be responsible. I don't care if it is Christmas. You know what I mean?
Be responsible. But I will say, like, in cases like what I'm living right now, being laid off, I'm using my credit card for stuff that I don't necessarily use it for, but I'm forced to use it because life get real and bills don't care. So you got to do what you got to do. And in instances like that, I would say, you just got to make sure that you're paying off these debts that you're creating for yourself. It's going to be harder because you're spending more than you want to. But when you get a little money, you throw it to that credit card that you've been using to do what you got to do. So don't just do it because you're using that as an excuse. Like, well, this is what I got to do. Well, we all got to do it sometimes. But where you throwing that money that you're getting in, put it into that credit card that you use.
Yeah. Now, you do know that you can, if you got a credit card, I found this out because I was off of work from about 40 days. I was transitioning to another company, and you can take, they have it's called a claim, like you out from employment. They cover your 2 or 3 payments until you feel like you can get back to work. Supposed to be sometimes 6 months. Check with your credit card company and tell them and say, hey, and they be like, okay, that's why they have interest on there so much. So you got a back pocket. Now, before we get off, I got something else to teach everyone. This is what I just experienced lately. So you have a collector on your credit report. That's why I say if you join Experian, Experian has Boost that helps you with the bills you pay on a regular basis. If you're paying it from your bank account, I would tell you get a free membership with Experian Boost. I've told other few people they've done it. I mean, I don't work for Experian, Hope they see this video and probably give me a sponsorship, but I don't work for them. It just helps. Okay, so I had two collections on my record, on my credit report, and one it was Sprint saying that I owed them so much amount of money. This other one was AT&T Universe. So AT&T Universe said I owed them $98 for the past 4 or 5 years. So, and they always constantly, IC Systems, which is one of these companies that buys people's credit and pursue, and they can report a negative report to your credit report. Now, let me tell you what happened. I got a major claim on them right now going through. A loan officer gave me a script. So if you're ever going to pay a creditor, do not pay them over the phone with your debit card. Please listen to everyone. Do not pay them with your credit card. You can get a personal check from your bank or a cashier's check, whatever. Write out the check to them. And in the back of the check, under where they have to endorse, I wrote in, upon receiving this check, you would therefore do not report no more negative reports to my credit report. That's what I was wrote in the back. Okay, so I called AT&T UIC Systems, and the check, the amount was 98. I said, hey man, I don't know nothing about it, man, but I'm willing to squash this. So I said, I'll give you $60. So he did some tabulation. He said, okay, we can go 63.86. I said, okay, bet, document that. So he said, are you paying over the phone? I said, no, I'm sending out a check, dating it right now. I'm filling it out right now to you. He gave me the day and address. Now, he said, so I said, this should freeze. He said, how long you think the check can get here? I said, I'm putting it in the mail. This is Thursday. Now, Monday was a holiday. It's October the 6th. Monday was going to be a holiday. It gets in the mail by Friday, the next day. That's the 7th. These low-down cats filed a negative report on my account October the 9th. Right? And brought my score down by 3 points. So I'm like, when I called, why did my points come down? IC Systems. Well, I said, well, that's crazy. I called IC Systems, like, what the world are you doing? Why are you filing a negative report on me? And I checked. The lady said, oh, well, we don't have no check. I said, it shows in the document that I agreed to 6386 and supposed to be a freeze. She said, yeah, now, this is where they messed up. They cashed the check after the 9th. It still shows October 6th. I had to copy because it's gone to my bank.
Mm-hmm.
So I called Experian and told them, like, hey, and they said, oh, this is major. That's a major claim. That's a no-no. You don't make an agreement, and I send you the check, but 2 days after we made the agreement, you filed a negative report. Then you turned around and cashed the check. They shouldn't have cashed the check. The lady said, oh, yeah, this is major.
Oh, wow.
The lady said it because I'm supposed to upload the check from my bank up to them because they, when you look on your account online, it showed the cash check with the number on there. Okay.
Yeah.
So I said to them, you're really trying to hurt me because I'm trying to buy a house. So they're about to put a major report on IC Systems because you shouldn't have filed a negative report after he made an agreement with you and you then turned to cash check. What it sound like to somebody to you?
Sound like somebody trying to get over.
Dog you out at the same time. And this is a person who's part of our credit.
Right.
This is what I'm saying about apartments. If here's a manager, he don't like you, and he give you a reason where you need to leave, and they evict you, and you go to court. You don't have the money for that for court. Next thing you know, that's on your record. And now you can't buy it. And when apartments wasn't even supposed to be like that, apartments was extended motels. People don't even understand that when apartments was created, it was supposed to give you the next step to buying a house. The apartment owners was supposed to help you buy a house. Hotels were daily. sometimes weekly. Apartments was monthly for you to be able to go to a house. Apartment owners don't do that. No, ain't doing that. We're gonna pick this back up, man, Thursday, because there's a lot more I've been experiencing. And I said I was gonna have this show unless I had it in place. Right now, I have it in place. I got 5 cards and everything. And I'm saying this, I'm teaching my family. Because once you buy a house, you know you can buy now more houses.
I was always taught this. This is what I was taught by my elders. They said, once you get old enough, man, to buy a house, or a car. So once you get old enough to buy a house or a car, the best thing to do is to buy a house, because you can't buy a house with a car, but you could buy a car with a house.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't buy a house and then you can't buy a car and then go to the car people say, hey man, I want to get a house.
Yeah.
But you go to the house people, you can buy a house and go to the house people say, hey man, I want to get a car, and through that you can go get you a car.
And that's just what I look, because now you got a rapport with them. You take, I mean, I don't want to go to Big Jimmy in the streets and try to get some money to buy this and all that and all the foolery and trickery. When I might as well go to these people, you feel me? Paperwork goes through, there you are. And this is where it's so hard, because this is my first one. But I said when I get done though.
Yes, sir.
So Big Hank, that's the impression I was talking about you. I've been talking about you a lot about how God blessed him to buy a house right across from the church where he works at. Whole neighborhood is beautiful. And I'm like, if I can do, as soon as I say I'm gonna do it for the family, that's when more stuff happens. Cynthia, same way with you. Check this out. It's not by coincidence. We all know each other. My condolences once again to your family and everything. My goal is to give $1 million tithes. I've been saying that. I've been praying to give $1 million tithes. Now I ain't stupid. That's 10% of what I got at the bank. And those who knows me, anybody knows my background, I don't mind helping.
That's
I
right.
really do not mind. I'm a philanthropist. I give half what I have to help mankind. That if I know you, I ain't giving it to no trickery.
Right.
But God's about to bless us and stuff. So thank you, Big Hank, for being an example instead of just preaching about it. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Cynthia, same with you. You got the strength that a lot of women say. A lot of people mention you like that. Is that the young woman with the pretty face and stuff? She had the 2 boys. That's all I get all the time. That's Cynthia Joi.
Very, very pretty, man. And she doing her exercises, nigga. That's what I'm talking about, nigga.
Yeah, I be seeing her on them Facebook clips.
She doing jumping jacks, nigga. The 25 a pop. Getting it.
Oh, I gotta see that.
She be getting it, nigga. She be getting it. Had me counting with her too. I'm 1. I was like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Go, man. Go.
Hey, that's so righteous. I always constantly praying for the household.
Yes, sir, man.
I hope that people probably can see a difference in me ever since I remember Big Hank, and then the spiritual growth.
Yes,
Remember,
sir.
We are not ashamed of God. We tell it to the whole world. We just have our way of doing it.
Yes, sir.
And I tell anybody, man, if you're gonna believe in something, believe in God, man. I'm out here, man. I see y'all Thursday, God's will.
All right, y'all have a good one.
God bless y'all, man.
God bless y'all too, man.
Hey, is this thing on? Can you hear me? Is anybody out there? Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast.